So today's video is going to be part one in what I hope will be a series of videos to have on my channel. We got Bailey here. Say hi, Bailey. We're gonna meet my buddy Matt. Matt's got two really cool cars, and as you can tell, he's got a super cool barn that he put up, I want to say it's 3 years now. And this is where he keeps his cars. So we're going to go over his shop, talk about the size, how he put it together, and then we're going to go over each car because, to be honest, the stories behind the cars to me are sometimes they're more fun than looking at the cars themselves, because I find them interesting. So let's see if Matt's here. Matt?
Hey, Joe.
There he is.
Welcome to my shop.
Buddy. All
I've
right.
never been here before, but
Yes. What's up, buddy?
How are you?
Good to see you. All right. So, oh, Billy, you got a secret door. I
Shop
just saw
now.
you out there. Wow. I mean, obviously, I have seen it before. I'm not going to act like I didn't, but it's still no less impressive.
well, thank you.
You know, having seen it before. So, yeah, this is really, really cool. So what tell us a little about the shop, the setup, and the size of it, I guess, first of all.
You know, I moved here 25 years ago, and the house did not have a garage,
Right.
Which was a problem.
Yeah, you used to keep the car in the trailer, I believe,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
you know, once I got the 51 Chevy 4 years ago, obviously I needed a place to put it, and a trailer wasn't the best idea. My wife hated having it in the driveway.
Right.
So, you know, I was blessed with the means to be able to build this. It's 30 by 40. You know, I had the floor spec'd out because I knew I was going to have a lift. So 6 inches thick, reinforced, rebar, all that stuff.
Right.
So I was able to put a lift in here and fill it with a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. It's like it becomes not to say that it's small. Obviously, it's great, but all of a sudden you realize oh,
Yeah.
it's already filled up. Hell, I got no more room.
You know, it didn't take me long.
No, and the super cool stuff is like how you did everything, and you got like all these antique signs on the wall. Some of them I know are, made to look antique, but a lot of them are actually antique stuff.
Yeah, like
and,
there's 3 of them, like that electronic infrared tune-up one.
right.
There's that one there, an alignment one over there, and the one that says towing, that came out of a shop that was around in the 40s in Yardley, Pennsylvania. And those are real. Those are all hand done, hand painted, hand pinstriped.
That Buick one too. I remember
that
when
came
you.
from Tennessee.
Yeah,
It's dated in 1955.
that's awesome.
Hand painted on metal. It's probably the only one in existence. I had to pull the trigger on that because I never saw anything like that.
Yeah, I mean it's just super cool, and they're all conversation pieces. Like
Oh, yeah.
we could just sit here and pop open a couple of beers and look around, and you can tell stories just about the things hanging on the wall, right?
Light up gas sign. I made that. I bought the letters off of eBay. They're off some old neon sign, and it had a whole bunch of different letters available. So I bought those 3, and then I electrified it.
And of course, we can't gloss over this. We got the sign here, Death Dirt
yeah.
Hot
So
Rods.
I'll tell you the story with the Honda name with the shop. So when the lot had to get graded, they had to bring in 16 loads of filled dirt, and the filled dirt came from the cemetery. So
Hence
Death
the
Dirt.
name, Death Dirt.
Yep,
Very
Death Dirt Hot
fitting.
Rods.
Yeah.
So
It sort of named itself, right?
My wife's like, "Wait, they dug graves? That's where the dirt's from?" I said, "Yep."
As long as they didn't go down like 6 to 8 feet, hit any surprises
Yes.
there. I remember being with you when you got the flag here.
Yeah,
That's
it's a 48 star flag, so it's pre-Alaska, pre-Hawaii.
right. That's awesome. Yeah, I mean it never gets old, and I think the best thing you did was stain the plywood. Like when you put it on the wall, it just like made it look it made it look like you're in like an old barn, which is
one
super
of these
cool.
days I'm gonna stay in the trusses too,
Yeah,
and do
yeah.
something with the insulation up there so it doesn't look like a baked potato.
Yeah, but yeah.
That's on the list. It's a little high though. My ladder's not that tall.
Right. So, but no, and then you got the little storage shelf up there for stuff, right? A little loft and a little hangout area here, a little fridge and stuff. And of course, you got to have the door on the side. This way you can get a nice crosswind in the hot summer and things of that nature. But yeah, I mean, the cars obviously are a big part of why we want these buildings, right? We always dream of our man caves and stuff, and you know. So there we go. Now we got some, and you got two really cool ones.
Chevy. I picked that up in 2020. It was built about 30 years ago by a gentleman in the Pocono area of Pennsylvania. I'm the third owner. It was garage kept his whole life. So it's got a small block 350 with like 3 1/4 horse, 700 R4, 4-speed automatic, air conditioning, power windows, Mustang 2 front end, power disc brakes, power rack and pinion. I mean, I did some minor things to it, maintenance wise. I put the wide whites, the reproduction 49 Chevy hubcaps. The exhaust on it was too quiet, so I had the exhaust on.
You did something with the interior too, if I'm not mistaken.
Asbury Auto Tops, they did new door cards, the back cards, and new carpeting. But this thing is amazing, and it starts up.
Yeah, it is amazing.
Always starts, always drives. I would drive it to California if my wife would let me.
Yeah, right. I know that's actually the coolest part about this car is that it's like a reliable car that you can just hop in and turn the key and, like you said, just go wherever you want to go.
One of the neat things is the side view mirrors are actually dummy spotlights, and the gentleman had custom mirror glass cut.
Oh, that's super cool. Mirrors. Could you pop the hood to show you? Yeah.
And just a little small block, a 3 1/4 horse. That's all she needs.
I can attest to the fact that it moves because you do have a heavy foot. Yeah, we all do, right? But I don't recall the story behind you getting this car. Like, did you have something before? Because when I met you, you had this. Did you have something before this? I know your love of cars go back to your dad.
So before this, I had a '66 F100 short bed. Okay. It was just a 289 with a 4-speed in it. It was fun, and I was my daily driver for the most part. And then the body was really bad on it and stuff. I did some of the work, but it just got to the point where I didn't want to mess with it anymore. Before that, I had a ‑66 Rambler American. I bought off the original owner that had a 360 horsepower, 390 and a 4-speed. So that was a lot of fun because it weighed like 2,900, 3,000 pounds.
Right.
So that I had for like 6 years. That was cool. And then, like I said, this, and then the '47 Chevy. Kind of fell into my lap.
But I know your dad was a car guy, right? Like
ever since I was little.
Did he have Buick? Didn't he have Buick?
He had all sorts of stuff.
Yeah. Cadillac.
My dad always had some sort of collector car, so growing up, I always went to all the car shows with him.
Right.
During the car show season, and he always worked on his own cars. Both, the daily drivers that my mom and dad had, plus the older cars.
Right. When
I was younger, he would always say, "This is what this tool's for. This is how you fix this. This is how you fix that." So that's how I learned about that. So that really sparked my interest, and we shared that in common always.
Right.
He grew up in Plainfield, up in North Jersey, on a very busy street. So he would sit on the porch with my grandfather, and my grandpa would be like, "That's a '47 Met. This is a '38."
Right.
And my dad, he had this encyclopedic knowledge of cars. We go to car shows, and like, let's say it was a '47 and a '48 Chevy parked next to each other. He would know, like, see, on '47, the taillight looks like this.
The little nuances
like
to pick out.
The case
Right.
He was really crazy with his car knowledge. He was very passionate about it.
So now, when you got this car, was it one of those things where this was the car you were looking for, or was it one of those things that you knew you wanted something, but
one of our buddies, Johnny, from the car club, he was always sending me. Stop outside. Sorry, Joe.
No problem.
Shop pound outside.
Yeah, right.
Big squirrel. Where's squirrel? Sorry. Anyways, he knew I was looking.
Right.
And
But you didn't know specifically what you wanted.
I wanted something in the 50s.
Right.
That was pretty much already done because I had projects
Yeah.
in the past. I wanted something I can get in and enjoy and drive. It was like, my retirement present to myself.
The paint looks so good on it. It really does. Yeah,
And,
I love it. I really love
30-year-old
it.
quad flats. So, Johnny had sent this to me, but I didn't have the means to buy it yet.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy was asking like $24,000 for it. And then every couple of weeks I check on it, and the price kept going down. And it was like 22, then it was 18. Then I had the means to do it.
Right.
The guy was asking $14,000, which is ridiculous. He couldn't build it for that.
Right, sure.
So my friend TJ and I rented a trailer, took my truck out to Pennsylvania, and we poured over it. I took it for a drive. I'm like, here's my money.
Right.
It would be stupid not to buy it. I mean,
And you've had it now for what?
it'll be 5 years this coming April.
Oh, 5 years, okay.
And it's been like just a phenomenal.
Yeah, no, it's an awesome car.
I
Absolutely
love
is
it.
an awesome
I
car,
absolutely love
man. It really is cool.
I drive it all the time.
And this car has a neat, like, obviously I've heard the story before, but it has such a neat, like, backstory to it. Why don't you
Yeah,
talk
so
about
it's a
that?
47 Chevy Fleetline. They only made 27,000 of them in 1947. So, I mean, how many convertibles, 47 convertibles are left? So that being considered, I'm not going to modify it. I'm not going to hot rod it.
Right.
I recently got it running because it sat outside for 30 years at my wife's uncle's house. Unfortunately, that's why the paint's falling off of it and the top is shot.
And it was restored
originally
when
not
your
in
uncle
bolt.
got it. That's
Yeah,
the
not
killer
bolt
on it.
restored by
Right.
his best friend 30 some odd years ago, and then when my wife's uncle inherited it when his friend died, he parked it outside in a canvas carport under a cover. The carport failed, then the cover failed. Here we are.
Man.
That's why she
Right.
got the patina. But fortunately, everything was done. The motor, trans, everything.
Right.
So it runs great. I got to do the brakes. The brakes are stuck on it right now. But once the brakes are done, she should be drivable. I mean, so
Right.
it's just a matter of going through the brakes.
Right.
At this point.
Yeah.
It's the usual 3 on the tree. It's got the 215 inline 6-cylinder.
And these cars have, obviously being into the hobby the way I am, and we always go to the shows and stuff, like, you don't see these cars.
No.
You just don't see them,
No, so it's cool. I mean, so what happened was, my wife's Uncle Dave, was showing me the car one day at his house, and I said to him, you got to do something with this car because it's gonna rot. It's gonna sink into the ground. It's gonna rot away.
Right.
And I said, you need to do something with it and get it inside or sell it along to somebody who's gonna. So 2 weeks later, he calls me. He goes, "Hey, you want the 47?"
Right.
So, well, here we are.
Yeah.
I didn't waste any time. I got a flatbed, and here she sits.
Well, we had to make sure that he didn't change his mind, so he had to go jump on it. No, but that's the thing that's frustrating is when you see these people that have these cars, like you'll drive by a house and you'll see it parked in the driveway, and you pass the same house for years, and then you ask the people, is it for sale? No, it's not for sale. But then you never see the person do anything to it, and then they just rot away and rot away and rot away. And like we said, there's only so many of them made, to preserve it. I think it's criminal to do those things, like watching the Haggerty channel. How many times do you see the guy goes, the barn find hunter goes to the people's house and they got weeds overgrowing the cars and trees fall down on it. It's just
I'm gonna get to it one day.
Yeah. And listen, I get that. We sometimes you want to hold on to that dream. You don't want to let it go. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna fix it up. But it's just sad when these cars deteriorate. And but I think this car is gonna just be so cool, just like the way it is, preserving it exactly.
The goal is to get it running, driving, stopping, make it safe. Actually, I got a lead on a 2-circuit master cylinder. So right now it's a single pot. So
Right.
you lose one brake line, you lose all your brakes.
Right.
So there's a guy who makes a 2-circuit master for this. It's a direct bolt in, so there's no fabbing, there's no trying to make it fit. It's actually meant to pretty much bolt right in. So I'm definitely going to go for that because you got to have front and back brakes separate.
Yeah, this is going to be super cool. Now, just going back to the building for a minute. So let's say somebody's watching this and they're thinking about putting up a building like this, whatever. like I'm always under the impression like the most expensive thing about these buildings is like the concrete. Is that the most expensive?
No, it's just
aspect
the
of
whole
it?
thing expensive.
Well, yeah,
After
obviously,
COVID,
right.
everything was
yeah.
crazy.
Well, yeah, you built it.
Unfortunately.
You built it at the
Yeah,
time
probably
when.
paid twice.
How long did you have to wait for those garage doors? Remember how long that was the longest part, right?
Months.
Yeah.
3 or 4 months, and if it was any other color than white, it would have taken a year to get them.
Yeah, that's.
But no, everything else went great. Like the company I used, HYH out of Howell, Keith, he was awesome. The building with the wraparound porch roof was like 60, and then the concrete was, I'm trying to remember, 7, 8. That included also doing the stonework outside on the.
That's not too bad actually from what I expected.
The guy did give me right on the floor with the machine finish and everything else.
Now this is not a kit, right? This is built
it's
to
built.
to.
I told the guy what I wanted,
right?
30 by 40 with 12 foot, at least 12 foot at the bottom of the trusses with the 10 by 10 doors,
right?
Etc. With the roof that wraps around, and he just went from there.
Yeah, that's
told him what
awesome.
colors I wanted,
Right.
etc.
Right.
All the walls in the roof, they're insulated with R19. I did get the unit heater. It's propane fired. I don't want to pay all the money to have natural gas run back, a couple hundred feet from this.
Right.
And for as often as I use it.
Yeah, well, I remember being here in the wintertime, and it was comfortable. Yeah. It was nice. You're not going to be in shorts and a tank top, obviously, but
no, I throw it on. I set it at 55, and then once it hits 55, I just leave it. Turn it off, and it's warm in here for hours because of the insulation.
Now, is there anything that, looking back, you would have, let's say, done something different, or or you pretty happy with everything?
Pretty happy with the way it is.
Yeah.
I might have set it back a little further from the house, but
well, that's just a personal thing.
Though,
yeah.
No, I'm pretty happy with it. Of course, if I could afford to pave the driveway all the way back here,
right. But I'm talking about like sometimes, like for argument's sake. Our other friend Jeff that put up a building that maybe we'll see his one of these days. He had started out where he said he made it too high, right? And then he wound up lowering it or whatever. But
yes. No, I mean,
yeah,
maybe I've done 14 foot under the trusses because well, I mean I can fit my pickup truck, my full size truck. I mean it clears. Right. The lift fits.
Right.
So really it's not an issue. So I don't think I really changed anything.
And the lift that you got, you wound up finding it. It was like something used,
$1,000. 9,000 pound American made lift.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I mean, Facebook Marketplace is dangerous.
Yes.
A lot of stuff like that. That 89-gallon compressor I got for $400.
Right.
They still make that. It goes for like $3,500.
Yeah, these things are crazy. Yeah, some people it's worth more for you to come get it out of their spot than it is
this workbench with the outlets and everything on it. I paid $100 for it. Came out of Fort Monmouth.
Yeah. No, this is super cool, man, and everything the way you got it set up is awesome.
Well, listen, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
I waited a long time to have something like this.
Yeah.
And I really do enjoy it. I enjoy sharing it with my friends.
Yeah.
Like you.
Well, we've said it, but unfortunately with my car, we both know that I have issues keeping it on the road. But like just to have a place where some of our friends we come here, let's say have a barbecue, have the doors open, the cars parked out front. It makes for good photo ops and stuff like that.
Oh sure.
But I really appreciate you agreeing to make the video and share this with everybody that watches the channel, and because I think the stories are are cooler than the cars or whatever sometimes.
Well, again, I was blessed that my father was an awesome man.
Yep.
I lost him a year ago.
Yeah, I know.
But he shared with me his love of cars, and more importantly, his love of Jesus Christ.
Absolutely.
And he gave me that foundation. That's the most important thing that I learned from him. Is knowing the Lord. And
well, without the Lord, we don't have anything, do we?
No, we don't.
Yep.
So,
so that's a great thing. Yeah. And we definitely have to spread the word of to keep this hobby going, because it is we are a dying breed, really. I know, a lot of kids, my son, he likes the car and everything, but he's not real super into it where he wants to be out in the garage and stuff. But we gotta.
My daughter's like, I like the car, but I would never drive it.
Yeah, right, exactly, right. But again, Matt, thanks for sharing. Oh yeah, why not? Yeah. Who doesn't want to hear it? I should have asked that, right? At least one of us knows what we're doing.
Genuine 1951 Jersey tag.
There you go.
It's legit registered.
Yeah.